Whole lot of gang shit, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. My name is Nick Scarpino, filling in for Greg Miller. Today, I'm with my two illustrious guests, both been on the show before, Mr. The Pure One, Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host.
And they call him Maximum. They call him Candy, Mr. Andy Cortez. How are you, sir?
Go Spurs, go.
There it is. Greg is not here today. Greg is visiting Montreal with the love of his life, Jen Millar, St. Ange Millar. I don't know how you say her last name, and I never will. I'm not going to bother
Don't fucking
learning
worry about it, dude.
It's not our last name anymore.
But we got a great podcast ready for you guys. Of course, if you didn't know, the GameOverGreggy show, each and every day we get here. I already screwed it up. No. This is what it is. This is where 4, sometimes 5, gather around this table, best friends.
Wow.
How did you?
Such a
This is
low
where 4,
effort.
sometimes
A low
5
amount of
best
effort.
friends gather around this table. We bring in topics that we want to discuss. We throw them out to each other, and we discuss them. Of course, the new format of the show, we don't do it daily anymore. It's every Friday. There's either an episode that goes up exclusively for Patreon supporters, or then the following Friday goes to everyone.
Decluttering the Facebook
Decluttering
YouTube
it,
feed.
it gives us the opportunity to just do a fun podcast, not necessarily have to break them up by topics. If we're going really long on one topic, we just keep going.
Spring
Before,
cleaning.
Greg would be slapping me under the desk on my dick. He'd be like, slap the dick, slap. Shut up, Nick, shut up, Nick. And I'd be like, I really want to talk more about how bad The Last Jedi was. And he's like, stop talking about it. We have to move on to which one's better, Bubblicious or Juicy Fruit. Whatever Andy's topic was from that week.
Right.
Of course, if you guys are supporting us at the $1 or above level on Patreon, you could be watching this live right now, just like so many people are out there. Thank you so much for that. We also offer it ad-free. We have a pre and post show that you get to watch live. You can also get that on demand later if you support us at the $10 above tier. It's all sorts of fun stuff. So go over to Patreon if you're watching this, you're not on there, and get that whole lot of gang shit. First topic.
Oh, we're getting right into it.
I don't like to mess around. I don't. Greg does the 50-minute spiel. I gloss over.
Yeah.
I go. Here's what I go. I go away into my brain for a little bit, and I think about just different things. And then when he comes back to me,
Just different things.
I got to put my
Is it
brain
nice
back on.
in there? Is it nice
different things?
It's all clean. It's all like stark. It's like one color. It's monochromatic.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I can't remember the last GOG I was on.
Yeah, I think it was 2
it
GOGs
was
ago.
when you did the Black Eyed Peas topic, and we're like, we're not letting this guy back on GOG.
That's the best topic we've ever
Here's
had.
how that topic
It's a good
started
topic.
for those of
People
you who
hating on
don't.
it.
Here's how that topic started for those of you that don't remember. It's the year 2069. And they come from the future back to this year, and you're like, wait a minute, is it 2069 or is it this year? Like,
That's
what's
why
going
it's
on?
one of the best topics. This
It
fucking
makes
company
no
has ever
sense.
had.
It
Yeah.
makes no sense. No, first topic starting off. Our LA trip. We
Yeah.
went down to LA
We did.
to support one of the other Let's Play family people, Funhouse. They're doing a live show. Tim goes, Nick, do you want to go down to LA for? And I said, stop right there. I'm in. Because I love LA. We look great. By the way, the 3 of us look great in LA.
We do look.
We look great in LA. Obviously, Funhouse Live, the first ever Funhouse Live show, they've done panels and stuff like that before. But I was very interested to see what those 6 sons of bitches were going to put out
So
on the floor.
they've done live shows before as well.
Yeah.
Like they've done Dude Soup Live,
Yeah.
and it was under the Funhouse Live pseudonym banner
Ish.
before
The Bruce
and
banner.
but for this they're like, we're doing Funhouse Live, and it's going to be more similar to Kind of Funny Live. And I was like, well, I gotta see this shit. I want to support him. This is one of the first times that we're like, hey, we just want to support our friends, so we're just gonna go.
Yeah.
They didn't send us whatever.
We didn't
We're doing this
try
ourselves.
aggressively to get into the show.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
made it
no.
known that we were there beforehand, so if at least wanted to like slot me in the show or whatever to open for them or whatever, I guess I would have done that. But they didn't.
And
they
you know
didn't
me,
take
like I would have been a part of anything they wanted me to. Like
Andy out of nowhere.
be the
I get,
prop
we're
guy?
we're
I'll
skipping
do it,
ahead
man.
here, but at some point we're walking into this venue, right? First off, I booked us at the most Japanese hotel you've ever seen in your entire life. It was. It's literally a Japanese hotel. It's called the Miyake. It is a Japanese themed hotel where they literally
I don't
have.
think it was called that, but
It was Miyake, yeah.
Miyako.
Miyagi.
I thought
Miyazaki. Which one does Howl's Moving Castle?
so it's just like there was the softball, and Nick was just waiting to hit it.
So we walk over.
it was
from
Miyako.
Miyako, thank you. Which, by the way, Tim, you tried the bidet for the first time.
Ooh, I did.
You did.
First time, never had a bidet before. Never experienced it. Man, that thing has a proton torpedo right to the asshole. It knows, man. I just sat there and I didn't know what I was getting into.
No.
Because I sat and I was like, I kind of expected more of just kind of like I thought it was going to be more of just like a general wetness, like a
Yeah.
I thought a hand was gonna kind of come
a
rub up.
sploosh, you know?
Yeah.
But no, it's a pretty solid stream.
Yeah, it
just
is a
kind of getting
stream.
up in there. And I was like looking at it and like this thing was kind of okay. Let me take a step back.
Sure.
Everything's very small there in this hotel.
Yes.
Very small.
Yes.
The
This
shower
toilet.
I
was
am a
very
short
small.
man. The shower heads were so short.
Showering Very difficult for me. The shower head ended probably.
It was at nipple level for you.
Yeah, like under nip level, right? Like my dick was having a great time. It was real clean, but the rest of me, not so much.
Right.
But the toilet also very small. Like sitting on the seat, I'm like, man, I got one of them big butts. Like I cannot lie. Like it was not good for me. But next to it, there was this like contraption, and I'm looking at it, and it says like, there's like heat and power level and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, this is a bidet, and I'm going to do it, and it's going to be crazy.
GPS.
But like, I hit the button, and I hear the thing start whirring up, and it's like, and I was like, oh, shit, it's about to go, it's about to go. And it felt like the Death Star when you see all the green laser things start to form. And I was just like,
when it's about to fire and blow up a planet.
Exactly. And I was like, but there was like a fear,
Oh yeah, because you don't know what it's going to feel like.
How hot's it going to be? If there's a hot level, if there's a power level, like what is going on?
Because you've got some of the most, if not the most sensitive parts of your body down there, right? You've got the butthole.
Yep.
You got the grundle. And you also have the back of the sack.
My boys are just hanging
You got the
down
back of the
there, right?
sack, which a lot of people don't understand. Part of the reason when you get kicked in the balls that it hurts so much is because it actually hits the back of the sack, the most sensitive part of someone's balls.
Most sensitive part.
You got to be careful.
So I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of gearing up, and I'm like, you know what? I've waited in line this long. I'm here for the ride. And boy, that thing did not waste time. It just went, and it knew. I don't know how, but one solid stream right to the anus.
Yeah, mine was different. Mine was a little bit different. So
You tried it too.
So let's pretend this is the butthole.
Okay. Can people
Kevin,
at home, can you see that?
Skycam?
Oh, do we have Skycam now, Kev?
Because I have a hole with some brown liquid in here, and it kind of makes sense.
Soupy.
So like,
It's
let's say
soupy.
let's say this is the gooch, right? And this is the butthole.
Which part's the balls? Are these the balls? Does it go balls, gooch, butthole? No. Your gooch is between your balls and your butthole, you weirdo.
Gooch, butthole, and like the back of kind of like on the backside of my butthole. So like the water did this. It went, and it's like it's almost as like when you see a really high powered toilet and it just like sort of sucks it. Like I felt
like
the water do that.
Airplane?
Yeah, exactly. And I felt the water do that. I was like, oh shit! Like, and what was weird is that we were sharing a hotel room, and I knew that you knew that water was up my asshole.
Yeah.
Like, it was just such a weird moment that, like, we sort of shared, like, kind of like Kylo.
And already the best podcast we've done.
Yeah.
Like, holographic, yeah.
Both of us just sit there. You're right, though. I was having that moment where I couldn't see what was around you, but I could see you.
Yeah. You could see my asshole.
It's one of those things where, so there's a couple different types of bidet. This was the built-in to the toilet seat bidet that had little Captain Kirk control arm that comes out right here, and you can be like, number 2, engage. That's a different than a European bidet. A European bidet it looks like another toilet that just has a faucet. So instead of so you just turn it on, it just runs faucet, and you kind of get back there and just kind of position it yourself, but it's down water. This one, in very much the way that the Japanese are, very efficient, very pinpoint. They took the old shitty European technology that kind of didn't work very well, and they said we're gonna make this the most efficient thing you've ever seen because we don't have a lot of space in Japan, and we certainly don't have a lot of water. That last part, I can't prove or disprove. I don't know how much. I don't know if they have a water shortage in Japan. What I like about that is great.
I mean, it's true now. You just said it.
But the ones in Europe, obviously, it's just like a shower. It's like a shower, like a bathtub head. So you just kind of get your butt in there, and you can have as much contact or not.
More like that. I expected it to just kind of just be like
this one gets you so in the perfect spot that it tickles at first, and then that tickle radiates all the way to your body to the back of your teeth. Did you guys notice that? Where it's like back here, like it's coppery. Like when he puts that thing in his chest, and Iron Man's like,
Skywalker reaction.
Yeah.
There was a moment when it first hit that I was like, it surprised me. And I was like, oh shit, that was like more intense and like different temperature than I expected. And then immediately I pushed those things up, and I was just like, I got to test
ramp it up, ramp it up.
Learn stuff about myself.
And then I was just like, if I'm being honest, like I wish it went 2 times higher. I just wanted to see what was going on.
This is awesome, yeah.
Did you think at any point, this is very, we'll go there, we're friends.
Let's just go there, dude.
Did you guys at any point think about maybe that might be a sexual thing?
If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
You can't not think it.
Yeah, right?
You can't not think
You're
it.
just sitting here.
There is such a good feeling that when you poop, like, isn't that known that when you poop and it feels good?
It is known.
It is known. Like
I have this conversation with people all the time because I encounter people every once in a while who don't like.
Greg's just sitting
Greg,
eating something.
Can I get a coffee when you get here? Yeah, with the local. What the fuck are you eating? Are you eating macaroni and cheese? Everything he does is magic. Everything he does is magic. Every once in a while, I'll meet people who don't like pooping.
Yeah.
They don't like it. Maybe they can't do
best.
it. Maybe they can't do it consistently, or maybe they just the whole experience they don't like.
I don't like
it. You are one of those people. That's right.
Yeah.
You don't like it.
You don't like it.
I have constipation problems.
I am.
Hurts.
It's the only time in the day that I truly love. I was telling you this morning, I got up today. I was like, I'm a little tired, but you know what? Coffee's going to get me out of bed. Got to my coffee. And the next thing I thought was, when am I going to take a poop? Because I'm looking forward to it. Came in the office, got the stories ready for the morning show. Had a couple more minutes. It's time for me. It's me time. It's me time. I don't know why I got on that subject. Oh, no, you were talking about pooping. You were talking about maybe pleasuring yourself to the sweet, sweet feeling of that little thing tickling your 2-hole.
Damn, Nick.
Yeah, right?
Cool, Greg's out.
He just came in. Like, nope.
Yeah. I don't know. It was an experience.
So that was the Miyako.
So that was the Miyako Hotel.
Although I'm gotta put a couple things out about this Miyako Hotel. One,
terrible hotel.
Terrible hotel. Two,
elevators
the
don't
height
work, period.
of the shower thing.
Yeah.
Very weird. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, statistically, that can't be a good idea. Going on further than that, Nick. The horrifying alarm that went off that was just like, warning, this is a drill.
Now, I walked into my hotel room. I saw 2 pieces of paper posted in visibly clear sight that said, hey, at 11 a.m. on Friday, we are going to be testing the fire alarm. I tweeted out didn't tweet out, I put on my Instagram that little picture of like, hey, we're in construction. Sorry. It was like a cute little Japanese like character. And I was like, how can you be mad at this? But I made a note to tell you guys, hey, by the way, don't get freaked out. There's going to be an alarm tomorrow. And then I just didn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you guys that.
It was definitely a weird moment. What was also weird is our alarm clock went off at 6 a.m. And I didn't like that at all. Did yours go off at 6 a.m.?
No. What happened to my room was the first thing I do when I get into the hotel room is I always check the air conditioning. Right? If it's not on, I put it on. I like to come back into an ice cold room. Yeah, I'm one of those guys that like, I'll put it down to like 50. And then when I get in there and be like, oh, it's way too cold. And I'll get mad at past Nick for fucking over future Nick.
Yeah.
Right? But then I kick it back up to around 59, maybe 60 degrees, maybe like, maybe 65, depending on how cold it is outside. And I'll get it in there. So what do I do this time? Kick it down to 59. Thank you, sir.
Now, I had a problem with this AC unit.
Okay. I had a massive problem with this AC unit because it just started pumping out high heat, which I didn't notice until 4 o'clock in the morning when I woke up, completely dehydrated because the AC wasn't working. It was just pumping out lukewarm heat and slowly raising the temperature of the room. It's like that scene from Mission Impossible where they have to slowly raise the temperature of the room so that his body can go in there and match it. You
can't handle the truth.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. He's like, people in the same blood and the same mud.
Yeah.
So it was all around never staying in there before. Now, I stayed in there like 10 years ago for E3 one time and distinctly remember thinking to myself, I will never stay in this hotel ever again. And then we got off the plane and you were like, just book the cheapest one possible. And I pulled the Tim Gettys, I booked the cheapest one possible, and it bit us in the ass.
What? That could not have been the cheapest.
No, there were worse ones. But I don't go below a threshold of like $200.
And that is fair. There's a thing. It's LA, downtown LA. There's a problem with these hotels where there is a threshold. Now, granted, your thresholds are all over the place, and I don't trust them. But I agree that you don't get the cheapest hotel.
No,
because cheapest hotel.
You don't get the one that's like $100, Best Western, and you have to build your own bed.
$100 I'm not against, but like $69.
Cheapest hotels where we ended up walking after the venue, probably.
We're jumping all over the story, but that's fine.
Yeah. We're having fun.
That's fine.
Well, I do want to go back to just really quickly make a quick note about when the alarm before the alarm went off. We're all chilling in the room.
Okay, you're making a note like the management of the Miyako Hotel is listening right now. They're not
over the intercom. I'm brushing my teeth. Tim's like getting dressed, and we just hear, "Attention, attention! In 5 minutes, an alarm will go." And they were pumping this sound directly into the room, and it really
bass.
And I was like, what if I was jerking off and and then this voice just
I'll go you one farther. What if you're jerking off and you liked it and you immediately just went, go!
I love
Golden
danger.
Child!
I love danger.
I'm not leaving. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
It was weird. We're not staying in that hotel ever again. Because I feel like here's the deal. We got a Best Western hotel for a more expensive price. That's what I'm pissed off about. Is that we got the shittier experience because we should have just paid $100 and stayed in a shitty hotel. That's all I'm saying. We paid too much.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I expected it to be a cut above the 100 to 150 price range of hotels, and it was sorely underneath.
Oh, no.
We should have just saved the money, stayed at a Roach Motel, maybe gotten lice or bed bugs, and then taken them and given them to Kevin as a nice little surprise.
The Holiday Inn. I'm okay with Holiday
I think it was more expensive.
No way.
Yeah, it was like $250.
Man, God, they're
They're expensive downtown. That's the problem.
I get it though.
I'm trying not to waste our money.
Jumping around. So after the Funhouse show, we leave. Nick immediately, he sees James Willems' abs and he's like, I gotta go home. And so he goes home. And me and Andy are like, we got to get food before we go home. We're like,
the show was cool.
And we'd been drinking.
Yeah. We were drinking. We're like, we need some pizza. And
you more than me.
Yes, definitely. And I was like, I need some pizza. And then we leave and we start walking. And it's like, it's like 4 blocks away. We start walking. We do the turn. 1 block's cool. Next block, I'm like, things are looking a little shady. 1 block later, me and Andy are in the middle of a homeless encampment. And Andy just looks at me and he just goes, hey, let's just turn around.
But there's no lights.
And there was no lights.
For anyone that is familiar with downtown LA, there is, I believe, a section called Skid Row, which is where literally all the homeless tents are. It's basically like a non-sanctioned like homeless camp like strip where they're just like, listen, as the LAPD, we're not powerful enough to go in there and take these people out. It's us versus them. Let's just have a truce. And there's been an uncomfortable truce for the last 15 years between those two groups. You guys, in your beautiful, beautiful innocence, must have stumbled into that.
We were right there, and I wanted pizza so bad that I was just kind of like, let's just get through it. But Eddie just like, hey man, let's just turn around. And the moment he said that, I sobered up instantly, and I'm like, let's turn around and go. And it was just like without breaking a step. We just
I went. Tim, we should probably turn around, right? And you're like, yeah, I've been thinking that, but I've just been talking and try to like act like I'm not worried about it. And then so we keep walking and we're like, should we turn around here? And Tim goes, well, like, should we keep walking and then find a place to turn around, or should we cross the street? I was like, no, we can just turn around.
We can just stop.
There are clearly no rules here. Yeah. We can turn around here because we just walked by a drug deal. And it wasn't a weed drug deal.
Dude, I had a first thing for the first time ever in my life. I was walking home from that Drucker gig from Shit Arcade that we did last Saturday night, and I had parked like an idiot, thinking it was one bar. I parked in Union Square, and it was Piano Bar, which is down to like Taylor and Eddie. It's like maybe 7 blocks away, very, very much deep into the Tenderloin.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking, I took a right on Ellis. I think it's Ellis. Never take a right on Ellis. If you're here for the Kind of Funny prom, don't walk down Ellis Street, because it is the street that when you keep going, it's just every homeless person eventually does drugs there. And I walked by, and for the first time in my life, I looked over and I saw one person sticking a needle in another person's arm, and like they were doing heroin. And I'm like, I mean, I've walked by people smoking crack before, and obviously everyone smokes weed in this fucking town because it's like, weed's legal now, let's all smoke weed. This was shocking to me.
That's how they talk.
And I was so uncomfortable about it, I started making fun of it in my own head to like just deal with the fact that I was like, holy shit, that person's like fucking their life up right now in front of me. It was intense. Yeah,
a lot intense.
So were they?
Yeah, they were intense.
So fucked up.
That's fucked up, Andy. You're gonna go to hell for that statement.
But yeah, no, it was scary, and then we ended up getting ramen.
Yeah.
What did you guys get ramen across?
We got ramen across from our hotel because it was the only spot that was open. My ramen was whatever. I forgot what Tim got.
I got some like fried rice thing, and it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, mine was like it was midnight ramen. It was better than I expected, but
it's always weird because we were staying in the area of downtown known as Japantown, which, by the way, is only really like a strip of like one half of a street.
Yeah,
one. It's basically a block.
Tokyo,
was it Little Tokyo? But you always wonder. I'm like, because I've never, like, in our Japantown, I can't think of one restaurant that's really noteworthy as being like authentically good food.
Oh, you're fucking up.
Marufuku ramen.
Is that where that is?
Anybody who comes to San Francisco for Kind of Funny prom or just comes to visit, go to Marufuku Ramen. It is on the top level of the Japantown shopping center. It's going to be like an hour to an hour and a half wait.
And it's somehow
But you have to come when you're not starving. You come, you put your name down, right? And then eventually you will be hungry by the time you're ready.
Yeah.
And you can walk around and shop around, and there's like a really cool like sort of manga shop, and there's like lots of cool video game memorabilia and shit like that.
Paper craft, there's a lot of paper craft places.
Yeah.
There's also
the downstairs spot is the one that has like all the video game books and like all sorts of Zelda shit. It's really cool.
All kinds of,
and then you go back up to Marufuku Ramen, and it is a treat.
It's a damn treat.
It is a treat. It's a #1 Yelp ramen reviewed place in San Francisco.
Well, I was completely wrong then, wasn't I?
I would say the world.
I'll eat a big bag of humble pie on that one. Jesus Christ.
So jumping back to it then, we saw the Funhouse show, and it was spectacular.
Fun thing. I'm always worried that we're like overstepping our bounds or like trying to like Like, do Funhouse audiences really know who we are? Does it matter? We walk up. First off, as we're in the VIP line, the person behind us is like, hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Tim and Nick and Andy? Good to see you guys. I'm a big Kind of Funny fan. And I think he was wearing a Kind of Funny shirt, and I was like, okay, we're in a good place.
Yeah.
And then as we were walking in the line, there was like 4 best friends that were just at the front of the line, like, what up? And I was like, what up?
Yeah, it was awesome seeing
Yeah, so that was
everybody.
it was really cool seeing how close the communities are now and how there's a lot of overlap. And like, we've clearly shown them that, hey, everyone who likes Funhouse, we're sort of the, I guess, better version of them would be. Is that right?
Definitely more handsome, more built.
Yeah, definitely work out more for sure on a whole.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Elise and James about this. Like, I always wonder when I read their comments or ours, and some of our fans like hate on them, or some of their fans hate on us. And I sort of, cool Greg asked which ones. And I sort of equate it to if we were going out tonight, and I said, hey guys, I have a friend coming with me. He's really cool. He's funny. You guys would just be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'm down to meet this person. And I always wondered why some of the fans aren't more accepting of that. Like, hey, these are our friends. We really like them. You'll like them. They're super funny. But I do get the other side of it of, no, I just want to listen to you guys. Like, their fans might be like, no, I don't care about the other people.
Yeah,
I just want
get that.
Funhouse.
Sure,
right?
I get that. Sure.
But it really warms my heart to see when there is overlap, because I know that, oh shit, these fans do exist. Like, there are people who are big fans of Kind of Funny and Funhouse. We saw there was 2 people there with Kind of Funny shirts, and it was awesome. Like, it really blew me away. I guess I didn't know what to expect. But yeah, as we walked up to the venue, there were people in the front of the line like waving at us. I was like, oh, this is fucking cool.
That was awesome.
Like,
it was great to see everyone.
It
down
makes
there.
me happy knowing that I guess the fan base isn't as segmented as I thought it would be.
Yeah, that was super rad.
And especially
Also-
it was a smallish venue. There was like 150 people there or whatever.
No, it was
No?
more than that. It was probably like 500
500?
people.
500, yeah.
500.
Less than 500.
That's what I
It
meant.
looks. People don't look. Yeah, you look at a big crowd. You're like, because they're all crammed in there. You don't think it's that big, but it was a pretty big venue.
Yeah,
Plus, it was a
yeah.
balcony.
Oh, that was the upstairs too. Yeah, that's right.
That's where Ego Raptor was. He just walked by us, pretending like he didn't know us, and just walked up there. I was like, thanks. Hey, Aaron. Okay, bye. And then you all freaked out. You're like, it's Aaron. He's so cool. And I was like, remember when Andy thought we were cool?
I do.
Remember when he was like,
remember
hey,
that.
what's up, Nick? I'm super nervous to talk to you. Hi.
Well, here's the thing. I've been watching Game Grumps since. No, I guess it was around the same time. You're
You're an asshole.
But I knew of Aaron Hansen, Ego Raptor from Game Grumps,
Sure.
since before any of this shit existed. Since Newgrounds, when he was just an animator, and he's what like inspired me to get into 2D animation.
That's cool.
He's the reason why I realized like, oh shit, anybody can animate. I can just, if I have Adobe Flash, I can learn how to animate.
Anyone can cook.
And he walked by me, and I was, I had been drinking. I had a few drinks in me.
Moscow mules.
Yeah. some liquid courage
and he
in
walked
you.
by me, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's Aaron Hansen." And my first instinct was like, "Let me just shake his hand." So as he's walking by, I was like, shook his hand. He doesn't know who I am, of course. And then he walked upstairs, and then maybe 20 minutes later, he leaves with the Game Grumps manager, Brent. And as they leave, I was like, I have to go fucking say hi. I can't just let him leave and like not say hi.
Sure.
Meanwhile, I had been texting Vernon Shaw, who formerly of Hot Pepper Gaming, now works at Game Grumps, co-creator of Dream Daddy. I had been DMing him like, yo, you're at the show, because I know Vernon way better than any of them. And he was like, no, man, I'm not, but you should come by. You should come visit the Grumps office soon, like this weekend. So, of course, I was like, fuck yeah, I am. So then I went outside to go say hi to Aaron. I was like, hey, man, I work with Greg Miller at Kind of Funny. I'm a huge fan. You got me into animation. He was like, oh, right on, dude. And I was like kind of totally fanboying. Like, I didn't want to, but
That's
I
cool
was.
though, man. Like people fucking act like it's not cool to fanboy. I say it's cool to fanboy.
Like, I mean, the thing is, like, this is all still incredibly new to me. And I'm sure had I been a part of Kind of Funny for 5 years, I wouldn't have done that. But
Well, you could be me and you could just be completely oblivious to everyone around you at all times.
sure, yeah.
Which actually is just a great place to be. Because
Yeah.
then you always think, I am the best person in this room, period. No one can
Not
just
a
prove
great
me.
thought.
I'm not gonna get into it. But need I bring up the countless times that situation backfired?
Oh, every time, nearly. I think I'm almost like a perfect record for how many
God.
times my stupid ignorance and ego has gotten us into trouble.
Fucking
But you know,
head guy at BuzzFeed.
whatever. He's gone now. He doesn't do anything anymore.
Still the head guy. So anyway, that was my encounter with them. And then we ended up visiting them later, but I'm sure we'll get to that.
I mean, let's just jump to that. Can I just fucking say?
Well, first off, we went to go get lunch with Funhouse, and
That
got
was
to hang
great.
out with
That was
them.
all fun.
Visited their new offices.
I love them.
They moved the editors out of the bungalow. They're essentially in in what do you call them? Like a little trailer.
This
house
is their
room
jump
or
from the
whatever.
spare bedroom to a studio.
Yeah, it's
Exactly,
really nice.
yeah.
They're very happy for them. They've got obviously a lot of existing infrastructure from some of Full Screen's other stuff that they were doing, and they're moving into that. So I'm very excited they're taking advantage of that. They're getting like a big ass studio space with like grid and lighting instruments and all that stuff. It's going to make their life a lot easier.
Their editors are no longer in a tiny like trailer home. Like,
Yeah.
they have a giant room now.
It's really
and
cool.
It's really cool, and
It's nice to
that's
see
awesome
them
for
get resources on that because they deserve it.
And they're great people. So that was fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously fun seeing them. But then we went to the Game Grumps office, and it was all of our first time being there.
Mm-hmm.
I was blown away. I think there's by and large, that is the greatest office I have ever seen.
The thing I was worried about is that James Williams and Adam Kovic totally like overhyped it, but they didn't.
No,
So
they
like,
didn't.
so we were like, yeah, we're gonna go see the Grumps office in a bit, and they're like, oh my god, dude, you gotta fucking check this out. They have this, and it's like they were explaining a theme park to us.
It's one of those things that if they had gone 1% less, it wouldn't have worked. But you walk into this office and it is a complete the theme of our LA trip was Japan. I just want everyone to know
Yeah.
that.
Well, they did it
Not
better than the
decidedly.
hotel.
They sure fucking did. But you walk in and you swear to God you're on a streets like the streets of Roppongi. Like you're just like, where am I? And I thought that initially that they had just done a couple of the offices in a Japanese motif, but they have done the entire space in it, complete with like those screens that go, the paper screens that go back and forth to delineate different spaces, bamboo everywhere. The different lounges were themed. They had like seaweed and paki and like all these traditional Japanese treats, and it was deep. They had like pockets and alleyways where you'd pop down and you'd see like games. They had that whole amiibo section, which was like
A fucking hallway of heaven. For anybody that wants to see, Game Grumps has a office tour video they put up. So just YouTube Game Grumps office tour, and it was from July 2017. And it's just, please do look at it. It's insane.
It's-
It reminds me of a Disneyland ride.
Yeah.
Like the queue waiting to get
it
to the
reminds me of
ride.
Indiana Jones,
Exactly.
except Japanese.
Where they totally just committed to it. And it's a huge space where it's weird because normal production spaces usually have like really big ceilings, like really high ceilings and a lot of space.
Yeah.
This is different where it's more set up where like the ceiling isn't too high.
Right.
But the amount of square footage they had felt like it never ended. And it
Well,
was just
that-
like a labyrinth of
Right.
little alleyways.
I felt like we were done every room they showed us, and they're like, oh, and here's this other room, and it just kept going.
It's funny. It is the complete and total antithesis of what I like. And I thought, I'm like, this is really cool, and it totally works for them. But I was like, about halfway through, I'm like, there's way too much stuff in here. There are way too many, like, the space is broken up into way too many, like, different little things. I like big, wide open spaces because coming from IGN where we had the big open editorial pit with, remember when we moved from the second floor to the third floor and we were like, oh, that's nice. The ceiling's not touchable. Like, you
see,
can't
I
just
hated
reach
it.
up and touch that. I love open spaces. As a
Yeah.
person who has, like, claustrophobia, I hate when there's so much shit around me. It just gives me weird anxiety. I can't do
They
it.
fucking nailed it. I love it because where IGN failed, IGN had this fucking plan where they're like,
Well,
we're gonna make this office so
No,
cool.
yeah,
and
IGN
we're gonna
had
have
the-
themed conference rooms, and each conference room is gonna look like this
You
one's
can
gonna
still-
look like Portal.
You can still see the remnants of them sometimes when you go visit the office. Like the Portal
It's
room
not
just has like
remnants.
one thing left in it.
They still do it. They've renamed them all and they've redid it. And it still looks like garbage. I don't understand it. It's because they're like, you know what? We're gonna give a budget of $100 to the people that work here, and they're gonna make them with whatever skills
Yeah, they broke
have.
everyone else into
Meanwhile,
groups.
Game Grumps was like, we're
I
gonna
thought they were
invest
cool,
a
Kevin.
shit ton of money into set designers and people making this look like a real thing,
Yeah.
which resulted a Disneyland-esque experience.
Yeah, it was actually really well done. With the see, you weren't there when the IGN thing happened. They did it, and it was such a. And I don't think the HR person's there anymore, so I don't think anyone there is going to get
Definitely
insulted.
not.
But it was like it was such
4
a
HR people ago.
I read this in a manual. We're going to get this is a team building corporate exercise, and everyone like
Some of the rooms were cool.
I was just like, like everyone was like, I got real shit to do. There were some people that were stoked about it and like got together, like the creative service team got together and they made the Portal room or the Left 4 Dead
the
room.
Portal room was amazing.
But
Left
it
4
was
Dead
one of those things
good.
where I'm like, it's. I don't like things. I don't like half measures. I don't like things that are
Breaking
this.
Bad
I
reference.
know what this could have been. Like that Portal room could have been the bathroom.
The bathroom at Game Grumps.
At Game Grumps.
Where Game Grumps actually committed to the
Right.
Portal thing.
Where literally,
and it
as you
was
walk, there's
awesome.
like there's mirrors, so when you're shitting, you can look over and see an infinite view of yourself in the other mirror, which I
Yeah.
was like, that's genius. And then there are like lighting that goes like a portal. like one of the force
looked
fields
like
in
you were
Portal.
in Portal.
It literally had these little lighting pods that would go all the way up the ceiling, all the way down, and like connect, and it was really, really well done. It would drive me absolutely. James was right. James was like, go in there, shit once, and you'll understand it's cool, but you never want to shit in there again because the blue light starts to give you a seizure after a while. Or what?
You're
It just
such
started
a
fucking
loser,
with me.
Nick.
Started
Oh my
fucking
God.
with me.
I'm so happy I'm not you.
I would never shit in
I
there.
enjoy fun things.
I enjoyed it. I enjoy fun things until I don't enjoy fun
Yeah.
things anymore.
I thought it was awesome.
And then
thought it was
when I
really
saw
fun.
the other bathrooms, I was like, "Oh, good, you guys have 2 regular bathrooms." Because I immediately think, what would happen if I had to come work down here for a week? How would I shit in this bathroom? That is my number one priority. How am I going to shit in this place?
Yeah,
I
no, I
always
get it.
think that when I walk through.
What's awesome is not only was it like Japan themed, but it was more granular than that, where like Aaron's office was themed after like a toy store.
Right.
So it's like all fucking people in our industry have like a bunch
What's
of
that,
toys on my
Akihabara?
desks
Is
and
it-
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Akihabara is the city, like,
Meanwhile,
electric city.
It looked like you're actually in like a cards and comics store with like the glass cases, like showing off all the toys.
You could tell a lot of those
having them on
toys
the
are from
walls.
his visits to Tokyo.
And
stuff.
it's so freaking cool. And I
Yeah.
loved all that. And their kitchen area was like looked like an actual Japanese diner.
Yeah,
Like,
that
with
was
all
cool.
the tables and shit. I'm like, God damn it.
It's cool.
They
It was.
really
It was.
committed.
They went all in on that. All in on it.
And then
it
we
was
walked
great.
through the giant amiibo wall where you are.
That was stunning.
Surrounded by amiibo in
Nice
tiny
soft
little
light.
slots. Yeah, the lighting's really cool in there. It's like I forgot who they said designed it, but it was awesome. And then we walked into what was the sort of game design pit for Dream Daddy, and now they are working on other projects. And then what else? God, they had an editing bay with closed doors. Like,
Hey. We also have an editing bay that has a closed door, but Kevin just never closes it because he wants us to hear everything he does.
so that was awesome. And then we walked into the room where the magic happened, and it was the actual recording
Was that a trip
area.
for you to see that space? Is that the space they've been in for a while?
Yeah, I mean,
you?
there are several videos where they use because they never use cameras in their gameplay. It's just all voiceover.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
there are a couple times where if Aaron's really frustrated with something, Dan will like bust out his camera phone and like record Aaron. And yeah, it was just cool as hell to be in there, man. Because like shit, I've been listening to these dudes for fucking 5 years, 4
Was
years,
it
something like that.
cooler to be in there or come work here?
Don't hurt yourself.
Well, my favorite thing
next
was
question, man.
So then we hung out with
You
Vernon,
asshole.
who is a good friend of ours. So we were catching up with him and talking to the manager Brent. But then also you got to meet Dan,
Right.
And you straight fanboyed out, and the two of you were just like,
I had to play it
You-
cool. 'Cause
No, well, then you failed.
Dan was the
Then
first
you
person.
100% failed.
Dan was the first person that walked up and like introduced himself.
He was like,
right?
"Hi, I'm Dan," and you
It's
immediately went
so
like
nice.
this. Andy.
I play guitar.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I played it. You played it.
As soon as I
and then you immediately brought up Rush. You were like, "You Rush is a good band."
Well, I had to
like
talk
Rush.
about Rush with him. So the thing is, like, as soon as I brought up Rush to Dan, he was like, sort of a light flick, and he was like, "Oh, okay." And he said, "You know what? There is something where whenever you meet a Rush fan in the wild, it's like sort of this unspoken brotherhood. Like it's like a family thing.
It's
where
so fun, but it's like you talk about that like Tim talks about Q&5, which is a much more obscure brand. Rush is a gigantic fucking band. They're a gigantic brand.
No, but you don't like Rush. Like you aren't a true fan unless you like their whole discography.
That's true. I
I
only
was
like
like,
three
did
songs.
the whole thing where he questioned Andy, trying to be cool.
Yeah, he was like trying not to quiz me, but kind of like, oh yeah, well, what's your favorite song on this album? You know,
You're like
we're-
YYZ, and
we're-
you're like, "Fuck you, get out of here,
Exactly.
get
No,
out of
we
here,
were
you
talking
fucking
about like the
non-Rush
deep
fan."
cuts. We were talking about
Sure.
like I even brought up how like one of my favorite albums is Grace Under Pressure, and it's like during their '80s synth pop era.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Fuck yeah, it's great." So we kind of like challenge each other's fandom, and he was like, "Oh, check out my autograph albums," and he got like 7 of their
He
albums.
just opens a door and Getty Lee's there. Check out
Like
Getty Lee.
the framed
Closes the
albums,
door,
and
don't
he had them
leave.
like all autographed and shit. And then I started recommending bands to him. He started recommending. Oh, dude, it was just.
I
like-
love it.
It was so cool, man.
People meeting people.
Yeah, it was so cool. And we had some coffee and we talked with Vernon.
We had a lot
and
of
Brent.
coffee.
Yeah,
It
Had
was
a lot
good. It
of
was really
coffee.
great to
We
catch up
drank
with
all
Vernon
of their
too.
coffee.
Yeah, we drank all the coffee. Well, it's because we were so tired. And I did the thing where I was like, should we tell the Uber driver to go to a Starbucks first? And Annie's like, nah, dude, it's like an hour drive. And I'm like, you're right. Thinking it's LA. There's a goddamn Starbucks on every corner. nothing within 5 blocks of us.
Yeah.
5.
Uber's so different.
Dude, LA blocks are
man.
long though. LA blocks are like half a mile.
That was the
apiece.
longest Uber I've ever been in.
It was
Did I
like
say Uber?
50
Uber.
minutes, man. Uber San Francisco versus Uber LA. Wow, it is night and day.
La-
Uber SF, man, we are privileged and we fucking bitch about
Dude,
all the little things.
we so
Uber
are.
LA, it's a fucking
terrible.
shit show. These people, like, I feel like 3 out of 5 Ubers we got in, the people were talking shit to us.
First
that
off,
we're doing
that
it
one
wrong.
dude that when we got in the Uber, he's like, "Let me give you a piece of
He's
feedback."
"Hey,
I'm
man,
like, "Let me
give you a
stop
piece
you
of
right there.
feedback.
Do not
Next
give me
time-
feedback."
Next time when you get the Uber, like, look at where the dot is, and you don't need to call me.
It's
You
like,
can
I've
ju-
never
you-
used this app before.
You don't
Meanwhile-
need, you don't need to call me. You can just text me.
In
And I
Tim's
was like,
brain, Tim's like, "As you're talking, sir, the star rating is going down. I just want you to know that."
But the key to keep in mind here is I didn't call him. He called me.
Yeah.
I was on the right side of the street.
Yep, correct.
He was on the other side
He's
of
an
the
idiot.
street.
Yes.
So I'm like,
He was an idiot.
What the fuck is happening here, dude? Like,
I took an Uber ride the
we went
last time I was.
50 minutes with him.
Oh God! I took an Uber ride last time when I was when we were down there for the LA commercial, where I had to go where that. It was supposed to be a 25-minute ride, but I waited too long to get in the car, and it became like, I shit you not, an hour and a half long ride, and it was to the point where I legitimately felt like the Uber driver was going to give up. Like I thought she was going to just pull over and be like, and then get out of the car and go, just leave, just walk away, because it was so
This is your
frustrating.
life
If
now.
anyone's ever been on the 405 where you're trying to get over the hill to the 101 at like peak traffic hours, like 3 to 5 o'clock, you know my pain. Because it was just like, you're there and you just go, how much do I want to live right now? I'm actually questioning whether or not I should just try to knock myself out for a couple hours. It's terrible. It's fucking horrible.
Anyway, really quick. As we left the Game Grumps office, the one thing I said was, that's the goal. Like, that's the goal, to be at that level and to have those offices. And it was awesome, dude.
I'm glad it was a good
It was
experience.
fucking
for you.
awesome. I loved seeing
awesome.
Funhouse and Game Grumps office in the same day, because both of them, it's just like, it's so impressive to see how much room we have to
Yeah.
move up.
Funhouse's office fucking reminded me
Yeah.
of like Rooster Teeth. It's
See,
like,
I would take
yeah,
Funhouse
having the giant
over.
hanger, like it's
Yeah.
not a hanger, but like this is a giant room for just sets.
Kevin, is Kevin there? It was like what we've always dreamed about. When you and I get together and we bundle up and we take our shirts off. Front of the house has
our shirts
offices. Back of the house is all open space with all
That's never
grid,
happened.
everything. You and I, when we get together, we play Foot War. We play a little Foot War together.
I don't know what he's-
Take,
I
and
don't
I
know
try to
what
take
Foot
your
War
socks off
is.
with my feet. You try to take your socks off
Jesus.
with my feet. It's crazy.
I-
Anyway, it was very nice.
Yeah.
We rounded that trip off, by the way, for anyone asking. I don't know where Tim, he just got up and left. We went to the Ice House to see a show because I'd never been to the Ice House to see a stand-up show. We saw Jesus Trujillo. He was fucking hilarious.
He's the only comedian I didn't see.
You
I
missed
just- I
him
fucked
because
up.
James and Elise came to grab one last drink with us, and you were kind enough to pop out of the show and actually go to the bar area where they were at and hang out with them for a little bit. But Jesus Trujillo is like, he does a lot of stuff at the Comedy Store. I've seen his name on the billboard a lot of times, and when I follow the Comedy Store on Instagram, they always they tweet out the set lists.
I mean, I
so it
thought
was
in
cool to
that
see
set
him.
there were other really good.
Oh, there were a lot of really good
Yeah.
comedians. I can't remember who they were. I meant to kind of give them a shout out, but I can't remember any of their names. So they're dead to me. That's how it goes.
There was one of them who was half white, half Mexican. He was
Yeah.
funny.
And yeah, that guy was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then afterward, my buddy Lonnie hit me up and said, "Hey," I was like, "Hey, are you going to any open mics tonight?" And he said, "Yes, there's a open mic like at Flappers, which is a comedy club in Burbank." He was like, "If you want to stop by around 11:15, it's a lottery system, and we'll go and we'll do that." And so I put my name. I bought a bunch of drinks for everyone, put like 15 tickets in the thing because I was like, "I'll be goddamned if I'm waiting here for 2 hours
Yeah.
and not going up." And I got to go up in about 30 or 40 minutes, and boy. Couple things I learned from that show. One, difficult to go up after a full day of stuff, and I was drinking. And then two, difficult to go up at 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah, man.
It was late.
LA.
when I went
I've,
up.
I've been alongside you on this comedy adventure.
You are
for
my
a
partner in
while
crime,
now.
as I always say.
And being in LA, very different vibe than the open mics that we've seen in SF. I don't know if those type exist here, and we just aren't going to them. But it's very LA in the sense that even the open mics feel like a real big showmanship thing. Where there was this weird little stand next to the bar, and I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna go up there?" And you're like, "No, there's another room." And the other room was like it felt like a showcase room.
Well,
like
it was a
somewhere-
showcase room. So
We
the
had to
show,
walk
a
through the
show.
kitchen.
So
That
Flappers,
was weird.
Flappers has a couple different stages, from what I understand, just like the Ice House does. So the Ice House has the main stage that Chris D'Elia was on. We couldn't get tickets for that because we booked too last minute. But he's like your favorite comics. We'll get him next time. They had the main stage, which is the bigger room, and then we had the second stage. That's how Flappers works too. The main stage in Flappers is as big as the other one, and then the second stage show had just let out. What's cool about the LA clubs is because they want to support stand up, they want to support stand up and new people coming into it because obviously they need those people. They offer those rooms as open mics, and so you go, obviously you're bringing in 30-40 people that are going to buy drinks and stuff like that, so it pays for the wait staff to be there. But it's really cool to be able to do a show on a real stage and work through new material there,
Yeah, man,
as
it was
opposed to a bar
fascinating.
where there's someone playing pool and looks up at you every once in a while and goes, shut the fuck up, you're ruining my shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it seemed like 90% of the people in the room we were in were comedians.
I would say so. That's
More- I would
usually
say
how it
more,
goes.
man.
Because I can't imagine how much longer it went on for.
Went on till 1 in the morning. I think it went from 11 to 1, 11:30 to 1. So,
Yeah, it was definitely weird.
Yeah.
I
was-
probably my
yeah.
least favorite of the scenarios I've seen with open mics, and that says a lot.
Well, I think it was because, for one, you had to the room was quiet. So if you were sitting in the room, you were paying attention, which I don't like necessarily. I like to be able to get up, especially if I'm going to go up. I don't like knowing if I'm going to go up or not. I hate that. It's a stupid feeling, and I don't like when there's no set list of 1 to 15, and I know where I'm at on that. Because then I can just chill, I can enjoy people's comedy, I can text, I can go outside and do whatever I need to do. I hate sitting there waiting for my name to be called. It's not conducive to good comedy. It is, however, conducive to a great open mic because it's fair. Like everyone gets the same amount of a shot of going up. If you buy more drinks, you get a little bit better. But at some point, it alleviates the one stress point of open mics, which is, oh, Tim just popped by. I'm gonna put my buddy up.
Yeah.
Oh, Andy, I'm sorry. You've been waiting for 3 hours? Well, Tim's going to go ahead of you. Oh, also, not cool. Greg's here. He's going to go ahead of you too. Oh, Kevin's here? You're right after Kevin. And so there have been multiple times where brainwash, I just get so frustrated because I'm like, I'm 15th on the list. I've been here for 3 fucking hours. It's 3-minute sets. If you do the math on that, I should have only been waiting here at max an hour. But no, it is fucking mind numbing. So it was cool to see that, but it was fun. I think it was great.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. I had more fun at the other show we went to before. That was the
Ice House?
actual showcase.
Yeah,
We
that was
ate
loud.
nonstop
God,
bullshit.
All that food was horrible. We shouldn't have done that. That was
terrible. It was terrible
We're
idea.
never eating in a comedy club again.
No, it
Like
was
we need
bad.
to make that a rule. Every time we've done it, it's been a
Terrible.
mistake.
Yeah. The food at the Comedy Store, the food at Ice House,
But I
not
was
good.
so hungry. I just kept
Oh, we were
eating.
so hungry.
We did.
I
We
get
ordered
it.
so much that the waitress started laughing at us, and then
They're like,
every
"There's no room on
subsequent
this
server
table."
that walked by us giggled.
We ordered
Because we had
so
shit
much,
piled up.
We ordered so much food that she was like, there's a 2-drink minimum, but don't even worry
Yeah.
about it.
I was like, "Do I need to get a cocktail?" She's like, "No."
So we can't fit.
You are.
I couldn't fit napkins on this
Yeah.
place in this table if I wanted to.
But then you guys, you let me down. You let me down
Oh, no, what
pretty
did I do?
goddamn
What did I
hard
do?
that night when we were there. Now, I have a newfound love for this comedian, Chris D'Elia. And I was like, I want to go see Chris D'Elia. His show was sold out. We knew it. We bought tickets to this other fucking show that was happening in the same building, a different room. We get in, and God, the worst organized comedy club I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was terrible.
The building set up like shit.
Oh, it was
the
awful.
people were super rude, not really good service at all. And we went up to them and asked them, "Hey, is there any seats?" And they're like, no, it's no. I was like, "All right, cool. Don't like who you
They
talking to
did.
me,
They did want
but
to
whatever." Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, "Oh,
I'm
that's not very nice."
Don't do that.
Now the servers in the room were very nice.
Yeah,
but the
great.
people at the front desk, the people
talking about
checking
the
people
people
in,
running the
and the people
comedy
in charge of, because what happens is the whole thing feeds into one bar, and then they go, "Hey, if you're here for the 8 o'clock show,"
which we were.
which we were here for the 8:15 show apparently, but we
they
didn't
told
know
everyone-
the difference.
They told everyone to get in line
Right.
to get into this room.
They should say
Now,
if you're here for
we
the
all
Chris
got in
D'Elia
line
show.
because everyone thought the line was
Right.
the line to get into the show we were trying to get into.
Nobody knew.
But no, it was the line for the Chris D'Elia show.
Right.
And as we started going, we got so close to the door, and I saw them checking. I'm like, they're not gonna fucking check our shit, guys. Shut the fuck up. We're going through. Just go. Just go. Be cool. Be cool. Kevin, can you imagine this situation, right?
Nick,
Can you imagine me and
why
you
would you do this? Why
standing
would
there?
you ruin everyone's fucking day?
Oh, you think it's just Nick? No, we got two
Andy
monsters.
did it too?
We have two fucking monsters here. We're literally about to be next, and then Nick does the thing where I know Nick's gonna do
No,
the
I
thing.
didn't. I didn't do anything.
You did.
I just looked
You
at
did,
Andy,
Nick.
and Andy works that.
You did the Nick thing where you get nervous, so you start talking to the people around
Yeah.
us.
Hey, I'm not-
Hey, what's this line for?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm gonna make a joke. I'm gonna do some. Hey, no, but really though, what's this line for? And I'm sitting here like, God, just shut up, Nick. Just stop talking. Meanwhile, Andy's here. I can see him fucking sweat dripping down his face. Like, oh man, I'm gonna
No.
get in trouble.
I
It
could see
wasn't a
that.
trouble thing.
I could see it.
Here was my concern, Kevin.
I'm listening.
if we're walking onto an airplane, no big deal. Everybody has tickets. You're gonna walk in. You're gonna be good, right? Like an airline is different. If I was in a situation where Nick has been in,
Andy, you look around. You look around if people are looking for seats on their do they have a seat number?
I would have kept my mouth shut.
Nobody has a seat number.
But
Great.
as we're filing into this room, the thing that goes into my head is, we didn't pay for this show. We are taking somebody's seats. That's wrong.
But
Andy, you always act confused.
The thing is this: what
Always
usually
act
happens,
confused.
and this is what's happened every single show I've ever been to, is and it's the same thing that happened at that night when we went to the other room. Is you walk up to the door and the guy goes, takes your ticket and goes 3, okay, this way, which is I knew what was going to happen anyway. So I was just trying to save us from the embarrassment of looking stupid
we
in
would
front
have
of the
got
people.
it
Then you just
undeniably,
embarrassed
and
everyone?
I guarantee you that we wouldn't have taken anyone's seats. Sold out does not mean every single seat is sold out. They would have fit 3 more people in that room. I goddamn
I don't know. The
He's
room
right,
that
they
we
would've.
ended up going to
That got packed.
was packed.
But
Would
also,
have been fine.
afterwards,
If we would take someone
somebody,
else's seat, I agree with you.
if
but we
somebody
wouldn't.
comes in and they're like, "Oh, that's my seat," you just get up and you're like, "Oh,
no, there's no
fuck."
assigned
It's general
seats.
admission.
Well, no,
What-
it's not. But they
but-
seat you. That's
but-
the thing. Is that you're missing this one key point. Is they look at your ticket and go, They would have just been like, you're in the wrong show.
But also, if everything's
miss Crystal
sold,
Lee, that's all I'm saying.
if everything's sold out and it's packed and people that have tickets aren't sitting, they go to the front desk and they're like, "Yo, I can't sit anywhere." And someone comes in, and they're like, "We're gonna have to fucking look at your tickets." And then that's when you get up and you quietly be like, "I gotta go take a shit."
That's fair. See, I didn't know.
weird
Here's my
tangent.
thing.
Just-
What would have what would have alleviated some of the stress is
run
if we
away,
had
Andy.
the exit
To
strategy,
run away.
right? This is all I need you to do.
strategy.
We stand and we go like this. Tim,
We
I
act
need to know.
stupid. Like act like 99% of the people there. They're just like, I don't know what's going on, including us, because we didn't know what was going on because they did such a piss poor job of explaining what
They
was
did,
going
yeah.
on.
It was
I blame
disorganized.
them,
It was
Tim.
chaotic
That's what
and
I'm saying.
disorganized.
It's their fault. That's
Andy.
also your fault.
What's up?
I think we have time for one more.
Before we do that,
Oh, you want to get into it? Oh, right. we're
I
halfway through.
want to let you guys know about our ads for the week. Our sponsors for the week, the illustrious Movement Watches. Movement Watches was founded on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank. The watchmaker's goal is to change the way consumers think about fashion by offering high-quality, minimalist products at revolutionary prices. With over 1 million watches sold to customers in 160-plus countries around the world, Movement Watches has solidified itself as the world's fastest-growing watch company. Cool, Greg. Yeah. You love that Movement watch?
You got that rose gold.
He wears that rose gold. There's a whole bunch of options. Kevin's wearing his right now. Kevin, do the Kev cam. Show the people. There you go. Have you ever been late?
Kevin's been late when he chooses to be late, not because he's late.
It's that
Or
time
it's
of year
Paul's
again.
fault.
You thought gift giving was all over after Christmas, but nah, Valentine's Day is coming up. Gia actually has a couple of these Movement watches. She likes them a lot because again, a lot of options with the colors and the watch faces.
I had
and
the
all
chance
that.
to get one. I think the one I was offered, I ended up declining, and Cougar ended up getting it. Because here's the thing, I lose shit all the time, and I would have lost it, or I would have forgotten I had it, and I would have gotten to a fight with some bouncers at a club, and I would have broken it on their face, and the glass would have gotten in, and they would have been, and I would have ran away, right? But then they would have tracked me back to
a
it
great
because they would have
anecdote,
found out
Andy.
the glass came from a Movement watch.
But the thing is, Andy, it's such a deal that even if that would have happened, you could just get another one because you can get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to mvmt.com/Greggy. That's mvmt.com/Greggy. Join the movement. You can find perfect gifts for him or for her, watches, bracelets, sunglasses, or any combination of these gifts in a limited edition gift box
Join the
for
movement.
Valentine's Day, and it's going to be fantastic. We're also sponsored by Blue Apron.
Hell yeah,
you brought
dude.
that shit up quick.
Oh my
Bam, man,
God,
that's
you're
what
a
I do.
professional.
Greg Miller, big fan of this Blue Apron. You might have seen him, the show Cooking with
You're
Greg.
gonna say big fan of Greg Miller.
I'm a big fan of Greg Miller. It's true.
I like Greg.
You can see
He's
him on
all
his
right.
Instagram, hashtag Cooking with Greggy. A lot of those meals done with the beauty of Blue Apron. Blue Apron is the leading meal kit delivery service in the U.S. And while many people know what they do, many don't know about the types of meals you can eat when you cook with Blue Apron. You're not just having burgers for dinner. You're making short rib burgers. There's a difference there, and the short ribs make it fantastic. Blue Apron's the #1 fresh ingredient recipe delivery service in the country. They achieve this by supporting a more sustainable food system, setting the highest standards for ingredients and building a community of home chefs. They offer 3 meal plans. There's a 2-person meal plan, a family meal plan, and then there's the wine plan. Is Gia going to get on that as soon as her sober January is
Yeah,
up?
when's she done with that stuff?
February.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Hey, that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense.
For 8 weeks, Ending on February 26th, Blue Apron's teaming with Whole30 to bring you delicious recipes. The menu will feature 2 Whole30 approved recipes each week, like seared steaks and warm lemon salsa verde with roasted broccoli and sweet potato. I'm a big fan of that roasted broccoli. And chicken and kale orange salad with spicy tahini dressing. I know how you feel about tahini, Nick.
Oh, I like tahini.
I don't like that.
Son.
Blue Apron is treating GameOverGreggy listeners to $30 off your first order if you visit blueapron.com/GameOverGreggy. So check out this week's menu and get your $30 off with free shipping at blueapron.com/GameOverGreggy. Blue Apron. A better way to cook. What else are you going to eat? A shoe?
A better way to cook.
Thank you for that, Tim. Andy,
What's up?
What's your topic today?
I was thinking about this, and it took me. I don't know if I wanted this to be the topic, but I feel like Icebreakers has had a resurgence with their ice cubes, and so because we've written off Icebreakers for a long time. They've been at the bottom of the rung.
This is traditionally why he doesn't get invited back.
They've been at the bottom of the totem pole.
He takes a stupid joke and just crams it into the ground.
They've
Worse
been at
than
the
even
bottom
me,
of
and
the
I
totem
know what that's
pole
like.
I love it.
For quite a while.
I'm not a fan.
And I think that they deserve some recognition. And so their ice cubes are the little cubes.
Running a little long. Just get to the joke.
I don't know if I want to.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, it's because I haven't fully thought out like
What the
Icebreakers
topic
versus who.
is,
Yeah, so
yeah.
I guess we'll
You
go
just
with.
got one half of the verses.
Yeah, we'll go with my other topic. My other topic is if you were the top. No, again, this is real though. I don't know what the exact verbiage is.
Andy,
Nick,
motherfucking
help me
Cortez.
decide.
I'm sorry, I zoned out there. Are we
If you
still
could
on
be
this?
the
Are we
ne-
still on the intro
if
for this
you
topic?
could be the number one ranked thing in the world, do you want this to be the topic, or
Yeah.
if you could be the top? If you could be the 50th ranked thing in the world,
Well, first off, we
What
are
would you
top
be-
50 in awesome podcasters. Probably,
Yeah, we're definitely top 50.
We're definitely top 50. So
right?
nailed it.
Right. Okay. You know what?
Suckers.
I guess I am the best games journalist in the world. So
Number 1 or number 50?
depends on the day.
I think it's an interesting topic, and here's why. I like the idea of if you could be the best at something in the world, what would it be?
What would it be?
Because it really does ask, what is your priority? Would I be the best lover? No. I'm already close. In that, when my wife wants to have sex, I go, are you sure? She goes, not really. And then I just don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it. Don't need
Yeah,
it.
follow the rules.
Follow the rules. I don't know. Right now, if you ask me, like, what would I want to be number one at? Probably stand up. I'd love to be the highest, like,
Just
I
like
guess
Dane
most
Cook,
successful.
man.
Yeah, like, or like guys like Russell Peters that you don't necessarily know about in the States, but who is selling out like soccer arenas in Europe. Like that guy's life is really, really cool. It's awesome to be able to do stuff on that level. I think that'd be
Russell
really fun.
fucking Peters, man.
That's funny.
Dude. He's one of those guys, like he's one of those dudes that I would watch his stuff off of Kazaa, download his bits where it was just like joke by joke you would download because it wasn't the full actual thing. It'd just be like 5-minute chunks. And God, some of the things he said, so fucked
Yeah.
up. So funny.
Yeah.
So goddamn funny.
Because I always think about that because whenever I see that a certain orchestra is coming to town, it's like, oh, this is like the number one violinist in the world. And I think, man, that's really cool to have that claim. And I think about would I want to be like the number one basketball player in the world or the number one. I mean, I would even say golfer. And
Sure.
And a reason why I go to
Well, golf
golf
would be
is
great, 'cause
A reason why I go to golf
golf is not
because
that hard.
Your career can go on forever until you're like 70.
And you can go
right?
to the old, what do they call it? The Masters? The old, like what is Jack Nicklaus in right now?
The
PGA Old Person's Tour?
It's like the veteran. No, fuck.
Call them the Fogies?
I have to find it out. Yeah, but so I think about golf, like so obviously in basketball, your carear would end around the age
Sure,
of
like you're talking
38,
football. I wouldn't want to be
37.
the best linebacker
because you might have
'Cause
CTE.
I'm probably
And-
not going to get that. That may or may not lead to the longevity of a life. Because the ideal thing is to be able to do the thing until you die, right? That's my thing. It's like I would love to be able to do this, what we're doing, till
How
someone
long
goes
could
like
you
this.
sustain it, sort of
Yeah,
thing.
like, and I think with professional sports, you have to be careful with that. If it's basketball, I'm pretty sure they have longer careers. But like in baseball, I think you can have a longer career. Fighting and football. Not something I'd want to be good at because you're just taking abuse.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And there's just
I
a lot
can't
of things
find
that
the
are weird,
fucking name
like
for this.
you were talking about the violinists, like if they love it, that's great. And
you could do that forever,
props to them.
too, yeah.
You could do it forever. There's a lot of weird things. Like being number one is enticing thing, right? Even if it's in something random, like it interests people.
To say that you're the best in the world at that thing.
Recently, I came across a YouTube video that was like, this is the #1 jump roper in the world. And I'm like, the fuck does that mean?
How do you prove that?
I'm intrigued. And I'm like,
How do you prove that?
there's competitions. And she won the most competitions.
Of course, there's a competition for that.
And then I watched.
Stupid question from me.
Watch this fucking video. It's going to blow your mind. You see her doing the jump rope, doing all the crazy stuff, like the whiplash in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
And it's really impressive. It's really cool. But then she'll go to a beach. And she'll, like where the water meets the sand. And it's just kind of like, and she's doing it in the water, jumping in the sand. And I'm like,
I picture her
going super fast.
I picture the jump rope like propelling her on the water.
Yeah.
And she just starts
Dude,
kind of
it's some
traveling.
Jesus shit. It's crazy.
That's
I'm
awesome.
watching this. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
And then they start doing like flips, like I, Tonya shit. Well, I guess I, Tonya wasn't doing flips. She was just spinning. But
I mean, it's sort of a flip. It's a side flip.
side flip, but
Sure.
it's like that, but like gymnast vertical stuff.
Yeah.
And they're doing that with the jump rope going, and I'm like, the fuck is happening? It's
That's
really
hardcore.
impressive. I would not be a jump roper though. What
would you do?
You bringing this up to me immediately makes me go, like, what's the schemiest answer I can come up with?
Yeah.
And as I'm thinking about that, I'm like, I need some time to think
Investor.
about it. I'm like, oh no, just schemer. I'd be the #1 schemer. That's all I need. That would serve
Low-key.
me for the rest of my life, right?
You
Then I'm
missed
just like,
missed out on a
figure out,
career.
get into that.
You could have been an
What's the
amazing
career?
Hollywood agent.
But your name is just low key.
Tim
Sean
Gettys would have been
Elliott
the
always
best
tells
Hollywood
me.
agent ever. Yeah, you would, because you would have been like, listen, you would have been sitting across from Steven Spielberg, and you're like, listen, I got this client, Nick. Now I know he's not tall, and I know he's not talented, and I know sometimes his voice gets high pitched like a Valley Girl, but he is the person that you need to put in your next cool movie about a horse.
You could cast James Bond as like fucking Steve Buscemi or something. Like
You'd sell it. You'd sell it.
Yeah.
You were the
I'm a
kind of
seller,
guy.
dude.
Here's who you are. You want a real life analogy. You want a real life example.
Give me
rather.
that real.
You're the kind of guy that pitched Tim Burton on Michael Keaton for the '89 Batman, and everyone in the world was like, "This ain't gonna work," and then it worked. It was like just weird enough to work.
I like to think that I'm the guy that introduced Tim Burton to Johnny Depp, where a lot of people can hate on it. But at the end of the day,
Oh, first off, no one hates on that. The Johnny Depp Tim Burton connection, Edward Scissorhands. Are you kidding me?
why not?
Yeah,
but
but
then after that,
Johnny
kinda-
Depp now.
Oh no, Johnny Depp now. Yeah, but no, when he worked with Tim Burton, everyone loved. I fucking love Edward Scissorhands. So weird. It's exactly that case where you're like, you take weird idea #1 and make it have sex with weird idea #2, and then the baby comes out and it's just awesome. It's
a hot
It's
baby.
weird.
But, like,
I would look at those two and be
old
like,
enough,
it's
though.
going to be a baby that's going to eat something and like die. Just
Yeah.
eat and then die, like Portillo. We're always just afraid Portillo's going to eat something and die when Greg's not here.
Yeah, and he's always just running around with his naked
Fucking
ass.
peed all over my floor today.
Did although that was your bad.
Yeah, that was totally your fault. I yelled.
Portillo runs in like with a little pitter patter, and Kevin yells like he's always yelling. Again, it is Boy That Cried Wolf because when you're always
No, I
yelling,
heard him.
But
I heard him.
when I
Kevin
yell
yells.
direction,
Hey, don't pet Portillo. He'll pee.
Yep, I heard him.
Joey yells.
immediately-
No, he's fine. And
Nick
I'm like, all
immediately.
right, do
Joey,
whatever the
now
fuck
Joey
you
said I
want."
just took him out. So, and to my credit, I have never once pet Portillo and had him pee with my soft touch. I think I calm him, but not so much, right? I don't get him to that spot. Today was an exception to that.
You calmed
he
him?
peed
He
more than
peed?
his actual body weight.
Yeah, there's like more pee than the volume of his body.
It just kept coming out, and then I look over, and Cool Greg has one paper towel in his hand, and I'm like, "Cool Greg, it's not gonna. And I need more than that." And he was like, "I got it, dog."
Here's the thing. I saw this all go down, and I love it. And this is just Cool Greg, my brother, in a goddamn nutshell, where he just wants people to be happy.
Yeah.
He wants to listen. He wants to do what needs to be done
Yep.
at all times.
God bless him.
And like he wants it done however the person wants it done. So when Nick is having this fucking dog pee all over, Nick goes, Joey, because Joey's technically
No,
responsible.
Joey's
for the dog.
responsible. She's the keeper of Portillo.
We're keeping the dog right now.
Yeah.
So Nick is just like, Joey, the dog's peeing. Like, get the pee. My brother goes, I see it in his mind. He goes, Nick asked Joey to do it.
Right.
Does he not want me to do
No.
it?
I respect that about
So
him.
he casually or like cautiously goes over and grabs a paper towel just to show you it to kind of.
He literally took a handful of paper towels. I was joking when I said he only had one. He had a nice girthy
And he
man
was-
style,
he was
and he went like
ready to
this.
go.
He looked at me and he went. He like pointed at it, and I was like, "Yes, let's get those over here." Now I saw your handful, and I thought to myself, "That's probably not going to be enough, but we'll see where we net out." He put it in there, it immediately disappeared. That's how much pee there was. It just disappeared. And I was like, "Shit!" And it looked like there was more pee than what there was before. Joey comes in with one more, and I said, "Just give me the thing," and I started unruffling it as your brother's like patting it into the pee, and finally we put out the fire.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Portillo, #1 ranked dachshund in the world.
Yeah.
He probably
it's
is
true.
actually.
It's true, man.
He probably is. I don't know, Andy. What would be your answer to that question?
So I already mentioned
me
sort of the
anxiety.
sports thing, but I also like to think about because of the environment because I love the vibe of the community, like what it would feel to be like the number one ranked Street Fighter player or Marvel player. And I always think that whenever I'm watching these big tournaments on Twitch and stuff, like, man, it must be so cool knowing that, like, and this is a few years back, like consistently watching Justin Wong and knowing that, like, he might lose, and they're like, oh, but the Wong factor, he's gonna come back, and sure enough, he pulls out some bullshit. It's like, how the fuck did he come back? I don't know how he did it, but it's magic, and I would love to just like sort of have like the crowd roaring for me and like, man.
But you'd pick
kicking
professional video game player over like professional soccer player. Like, you'd rather not be like
because I don't
Scary Spice.
I would.
David Beckham. Like, you could pick David Beckham's life, or you'd want.
Spice.
Oh, sorry, which one? Oh, Eddie Murphy had the thing with Scary Spice, right? They had a kid together. All right. That notwithstanding, you would rather pick kind of a more obscure thing like professional sports than you would like everywhere I go, everyone knows that I'm the best.
I guess so, because I would still have like, it's still a career where you can have a very good living.
Sure.
But also, I don't care about soccer. I don't care about the soccer fandom. Football, americano.
You're not in it for just the pure money and the glory.
Correct.
You
Yeah.
actually want to enjoy your life.
Yeah,
I feel that
absolutely.
too. Yeah,
but
feel
I
that too.
do. But now, if you were to say basketball, then that would certainly.
Well, I mean, it's your topic. Everything's on the table. Picture this. I'm gonna picture this. You got two scenarios. One, you're in a dark room all day playing a video game. Or two, you, LeBron James, get drafted to the Spurs. Right?
Okay.
You guys you are what people are now calling the brand new dream team, the dynamic
you call
duo.
him Brawny.
You call him
You're on
Brawny,
that type of
and he calls
basis
you
with
that
him.
candy man, that sweet, sweet candy man. And it's like fourth quarter. You guys are down by 2 points. You need a 3-pointer,
Cool,
right?
Greg's cracking
He
up.
fucking LeBron goes. He knows he doesn't have the stuff that night because he's maybe just going a little downhill. But that candy man, that sweet candy man, just went to the candy shop. What did he bring us back? Let's find out. He passes you the ball. You put it
What
up.
do I do?
All net.
All net.
All fucking net. And it is just sweet and sour. They call you the sweet and sour, just like the Sour Patch Kid. From now on, you're the Sour Patch Kid. Isn't that more fun? That's
So my
more
name-
fun.
Wait, the name changed?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gonna tell me you're not gonna hang out with LeBron James?
No, that is
And live that baller lifestyle? You're fucking full of shit. You're taking basketball 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Fucking
know.
video game. You're not gonna be like, this is how it's like.
No,
That's what you're gonna do all day? Fucking fade away, swoosh, Candyman. They call me fucking lifesavers.
Sweet and sour.
They call me the sweet and Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah,
They call me Twix, dog. Twix.
And you know that your career
If we were together,
would
though,
never end.
if I picked that, you could be Kit and I could be Cat. You'd be Kit Kat.
You're part of this now?
I mean, it's my
If you-
fantasy
if you
too.
both chose,
if
yeah.
it's me, you, and LeBron, fuck yeah, we leave tonight of it. Fuck yeah.
This is also.
I'm
coming
happy that
after
you-
us
that you
played
joined me.
basketball yesterday for the first time, and I say playing basketball. We threw a basketball towards a hoop a couple times, but that was something special. Seeing the three of us, you know, with
Yeah,
our
it
hoop
must.
dreams.
I imagine what happened was we went to the place we played basketball, and there were some people still left over from working there that day, and they looked out and they thought, I should probably kick those guys out. And then they started seeing us shoot the ball, and they were laughing so hard that they couldn't move.
Yeah.
That's what I like to imagine happened.
Not me,
That's
cool,
cool.
Greg. I was fucking
And he was
swishing them all
fucking-
day, dude.
Yeah, sweet and
Well,
sour
for
dunks.
one, you gave me the ball. You're like, Nick, try to make it in. And I go to bounce the ball, and it's got so little air in it that it doesn't come back up to my
Yeah.
hand. And then you start laughing. Fucking both of you were like, yeah.
Well, I told
To be
Tim.
fair, Nick, watching you shoot, I expected you to, I don't know, kind of get close to it, but no. He goes to shoot it, and Nick
Airball.
Nick has this thing about him
Confidence.
that makes him look cool.
Ultimate confidence.
Where he looks like he knows what he's doing. I very often don't look like ever. I don't
Fake it
know
till you
what
make
I'm
it.
doing, right? Nick, doesn't matter what he's doing. He looks like he has it under control. But then the ball went in the air, and god damn, it took maybe like 0.5 seconds before he was just like, oh, not enough power. And God, was it not enough power? It wasn't even like halfway to the thing. And then the next one you go, and God, you just fucking rocketed it at it. And it hits the backboard and was just like, and you're, oh, too much power, too much power. And it was just like, oh my God.
Now, here's what I want you guys to understand about me, right?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. None of those shots mattered. The only shot that mattered was when Andy decided to really embarrass me and go live on Instagram. He's like, "Whoa, Nick's gonna try to make the ball in." Fucking nailed it.
First time, dude.
Nailed it.
And it
Made
was
you
hot.
look like an idiot
It was
until
a
we
hot
started doing
shot.
3 points, in which case I couldn't get one into my fucking
Then we
life.
did 3-point shots. You shot
Yeah.
3 in a row.
Well,
over.
to be fair, when you're at the far edge of the key, there's no backboard. You got to just hit it in. It's really difficult.
to be fair, like
It's difficult.
It's a brand new concept in sports.
I'm just telling you right now, it could be me, you, LeBron, Steph Curry, and a person of our choice in this. But you choose to do this instead.
Do you remember that? You remember Street Fighter was what he said, right?
I don't know. I just feel like because you know what it was. It's from that where we were talking about the LA. What was the team? The LA team.
Overwatch?
Yeah, Overwatch.
The
team.
Valiant.
And they go like this. I won.
They go
Where's
like
Steph
this.
Curry? Is he here? Oh, he didn't come today. Oh, because he has no idea what the Valiant is.
We were
Cool.
in an Uber in one of the many 50-minute Uber rides, and we saw a giant billboard advertising the
Overwatch League.
Los Angeles
Valiant.
Mm-hmm.
No, you
And-
know what? I checked back and it was Gladiators.
It was the
They have two
Gladiators.
LA teams.
Got it.
Thank God.
And Nick, what was it that you said about the?
I don't know, but it was something very mean. It was something. Was it? I
I
don't know.
It was
What did he
acceptable to say? I don't remember. But it was just something about like.
Well, it was just because they were the problem with the marketing of it is that they're trying to market them like you would market a professional athlete. So they're all standing there in their power stands, but they all look like their moms, like 1 foot off, like trying to licking their hair to put them. Smile. I told you to smile, and then goes away and they take the picture. It's just not the marketing's not working for me. I don't think it gets
I think you
across
said- I
adequately.
think he said something like it. These guys look like they've never broken a sweat in their lives, or something like that. Like,
But they're all in these power stands.
Yeah, I mean they're wearing those fucking dry wick shirts, like like it's really gonna help me when I get off the field to cool down a little bit. It didn't work out.
It was something, man.
I was making fun of
nice.
it. I was doing my nerd thing. It was
Yeah,
it was mean. It was mean
I don't
spirited.
understand this, so I need to hate on it.
Oh,
what did you
I understand
pick?
it.
Oh, you said
I
comedian.
picked comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, comedy's
Yeah.
fun. Comedy is basically just an extension of the lifestyle we lead right now. If I could continue to do Cobbs and things like that and have all my friends come and like make video content around it and do a vlog like we did, fuck yeah. That's an awesome life. If I could just grow that to the point where people look at me and be like, Nick Scarpino is a big deal in this industry, that would sound fun to me.
Another thing I also think about, and this is when I am going back to in college trying to work in the games industry or the film industry, like as an artist. And there was this one artist, concept artist named Dave Raposa. And I just think that and I'd see his art and I'd see how phenomenal he was at creating things and just drawing shit and knowing that he's going to have a career for the rest of his life and he can work from home and Sony's going to contract him out to do something and then Marvel and then Disney. Like that must be a cool feeling knowing that man, I'm really fucking good at this and I can just work from home and never have to work for anybody. I just have to work in a deadline and I'm good.
I think that's
a cool feeling.
I think that is what one of my definition of success would be, where you get to pick the projects you want to work on based on what inspires you creatively. You still have to work against deadlines, you have to work with clients, whatever, but you get to do the thing that you want to do. You don't have the person you just described, I imagine in my brain, doesn't have to go out there beat the streets for freelance work. He's got every he maybe
As
has a
soon as
manager
he's
that has
done,
lined up
there's
the next
another
5
thing.
projects
Yeah.
that he's picked, right?
Absolutely.
It's what's cool about watching people watching the guy that directed Thor Ragnarok now gets the pick of whatever he wants to do. Now, granted, if he
Taika
starts to
Waititi.
tank a little bit, he'll have to go back to the drawing board. But it's cool to be able to see him. You hear rumors of him potentially. Someone talked to him about Akira the other day, and he was like, "Oh, I'd go back to the original manga." I'm like, "Oh, that'd be fucking cool. That'd be fucking dope if you could just work on that." Because Tim and I talk about this all the time, where we have to I paid some tax bills today and did some other stuff and stuff that not necessarily I want to do, but it would be so cool to just be able to do the one thing, and that's what you do. I don't know.
My other answer, and this is just something that I can't do, but I would love to do. I want to be the #1 singer. I don't want to sing. I want to sing. You know what I mean? You know, yeah, you wouldn't be bitch got vocals.
Yeah.
I want to be one of them bitches with vocals. You know what I mean?
Give me an analog. Give me a
I
contemporary
just
for
can't
who you
sing.
might.
I can't.
Oh, you just wanna be able to sing.
I just want to be able, but I want if I could be the #1
So
singer.
you want to Mariah Carey this bitch?
I want to fucking Mariah Carey.
No,
I
I
want
understand
Ariana Grande. this shit.
Here's
she
here's my rebuttal to that. There are tons of incredible singers that their time has
saying.
come and gone, and they still have the ability to, and they're still really fucking good at it. But nobody wants to put them on their songs anymore.
But the same way
I
goes
feel
for
if I
athletes.
had that ability, I'd be way better in many other aspects of my life.
But that's the thing. There's that happens with everyone though, right? There are so few people who were stars in the '80s that are actually relevant now. Same with athletes, right? Shaq's kind of a joke now, right? He's doing those general insurance commercials and golfing the whole
Yeah,
time, and it's
that's
very
really
weird.
weird.
But
Yeah, he's on
15
TNT
years
and
ago, he was on the best fucking team in basketball, you know?
Yeah.
So I mean that just happens. You fall off eventually.
Talking about the LA Lakers.
Yeah, but to me, like, if you are a past NBA star, you will always have a job at ESPN or Fox.
Sure,
Sports.
you'll be able to, and by the way, you won't need to work
But
if
as
you're a
a
gigantic
like,
star in the
if you
NBA
were a
worth
gigantic
$300 million.
singer in the late '90s, who is probably now starving for work and really wants to be a part of anything, and nobody like gives a shit about you anymore.
Sure.
Like that's the downside that I would see to your dream.
There's definitely downside, but then that's where the hustle comes in.
Sure.
It's like get your money right.
But you're not the number one hustler anymore.
Well, that's the thing is that when I was saying number one,
You're the
50,
number 3
I'm down
hustler.
to be. I'm down to be the number 50 singer.
But number one hustler. Yeah,
Number
if
one
you're here's
hustler.
the deal, and this is what I love looking at people like this, right? Kevin Hart is probably the biggest name in stand-up right now. I'd say at least top 3 highest grossing
He must be number one.
comics,
Who
right?
could even come?
I mean,
close?
he
is
sold out
a-
like giant arenas like
Yeah.
nights and nights in a row.
Now, I don't know how he is internationally, but here in the States, if you guys are watching this, he's a mega comedian, right? He has Netflix specials. He has HBO specials. He's all these specials. He's got 5 movies coming out every year, all with The Rock. I don't know how that happens, but that's what they do. That
and
dude,
some of them not that bad.
no.
Just saw Jumanji.
Evidently,
So
Jumanji was
surprised.
good.
You
I
saw
didn't
it?
know.
Yeah, dude. What the fuck? Definitely not the best movie ever. It's
I went and
good.
saw Ride Along. I saw that. I didn't go and see it. I saw it on HBO. Decent. Nothing to really write home about, but not. He does that thing where he's just so smart at going like, I'm going to do this movie, then this special, and then this thing, and then this like special that's going to back up the movie, and then we're going to do this cool campaign, and then I got the Rock movie, and that's going to propel me forward to this and that and that. And the man never stops working, and it's so cool to see. And that's like, it's like Justin Timberlake. He's another perfect example where we talk about people who like have a hard time staying relevant in the music circle. JT's been at it for a long time, but the dude gets it. He's got the work ethic. He goes away, does the album, comes out, does the tour for like 2 years or whatever,
And then
goes
he'll
away.
randomly pop up on SNL and like,
Yeah.
that's cool to be,
He's
to be in all
hustling.
these different circles.
He's like,
It's
apparently
really-
at one point, wasn't he like the president of MySpace or some shit like
Yeah,
that?
it was something like
There was
that.
a whole
Yeah,
thing.
that
He was trying to get
fucking
into tech.
weird. Speaking of JT, real quick, I'm
Yeah.
not feeling it, man. The last 2 songs.
I haven't heard the other one. I just heard the first one.
Yeah,
I don't know that I've heard
there
either
was
of them.
Filthy, and then there was another one. Not a weird.
I
You
thought
know my
Filthy's
theory
fine.
on Justin Timberlake is that I hate every one of his songs until I love them.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
The last
Pop music.
album, the 2020 Experience, I didn't like any of the songs on that the first time I heard
liked
it.
a decent amount of them.
And now I listen to him all the time.
Yeah,
He's like
We'll
Will
see,
Ferrell
man.
for
I
me.
love him, dude. I love him. But
Let's see. We're 120 into this. Do you want to go into another
I think we're
topic?
good. I think we're good. This was a banger show.
You want to wrap that up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for listening to this. Just a quick reminder, of course, we put this podcast out here at youtube.com/kindafunny. We're also on iTunes, all that jazz. If you guys are listening there, make sure you rate us highly and recommend us to your friend. Hey, you got a friend named Chad? Everyone's got a friend named Chad.
What's up, Chad?
He's probably a guy you don't like that much because you want him to be better. And here's how you make him better. You tell him to listen to this podcast.
Hey,
Tell him we were
Chad.
talking about him. Tell him that Chad, weird name, but we like you. We like you anyway, Chad. Come listen to this. Also, if you guys, I'm wrapping it up, Kevin. Don't worry about it.
No, I was telling Andy to do that one more time.
No, I see.
I was waiting for the right time.
Thank you guys. If you're watching live on Patreon, we'll be with you guys in 1 second for the post show. Everyone else who's not on Patreon, if you're watching this and want to be a part of it, go to patreon.com/kindafunny.
What's good, Chad?
For $1, you guys can watch this show live. We talk to you. We're going to the chat right after this. It's super fun. And you guys can check out all sorts of other perks. Hey, if you want to up that to $2, you get entered to win our giveaway, which we give away every day. It's super fun. Guys, am I missing anything for the closer?
No,
Is that
man.
it?
I think we're good, dude.
All right. I love all three of
good,
you. I love
dude.
Cool Greg and Kevin. You're getting some next. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time. Bye. You're going to get some.
You're getting it.
Well, that was a fun one. You can click here to subscribe to Kind of Funny, or if video games are of an interest to you, you can click there to subscribe to Kind of Funny Games. If you want to support us and see the pre-show and post-show and everything live, boom, right there, patreon.com/kindoffunny. And right here, if you click right here, I don't know, Cool Greg, put something
Secret
there.
one, super secret. Maybe it goes to an Ariana Grande video.